Hey, what is going on, you in-debt Delibird? Today, we're going to play some games with this crazy Duraludon VMAX list that Grant Manley took to a tournament win in an over 100-person tournament the other day. And it's just weird. It's wacky. I played a couple games with this deck on stream the other day, twitch.tv/AzulGG. I stream every day except Tuesdays. Give the first link in the description a click and give it a follow. So the point of this deck is to set up Duraludon VMAX, 330 HP. It's got the Skyscraper ability, which doesn't allow us to be hit by any Pokemon with special energy. A lot of decks play special energy right now. And then Gmax Pulverization does 220 for fighting metal, and the attack isn't affected by any effects on our opponent's active Pokemon. So it kind of like goes through anything. If we go up against a Decidueye, we'd knock the Decidueye out, stuff like that. There's also two Zacian in here, which we use as early game draw support, and we sometimes use Brave Blade. You might notice there's no Metal Saucer in the list. We do play one Raihan, but yeah, no Metal Saucer, so we can't like aggressively set up Zacians out of nowhere, or Zamazentas, which we also play two of. So these Pokemon are just kind of in here to be walls, or the Zamazenta is in here to be a wall in certain situations up against certain decks. Sometimes we could even go like double Zamazenta plus a Duraludon VMAX depending on the matchup, and we just don't put the Zacian in play. But usually we find ourselves putting a Zacian in play and then either trying to get to two Duraludon VMAX in play or one Zamazenta, one Duraludon VMAX in play, depending on the situation, depending on the matchup. And then besides that, the list is very heavily built around almost just kind of running our opponent out of resources. We got Crushing Hammers. We've got 4 Crystal Caves, so we're constantly healing damage. 2 Flannery, which helps us remove special energy, but can also do a really cool stadium play, where if we have a Crystal Cave in play and we use that one to heal 30, then we can Flannery, discard the stadium, play a new Crystal Cave, heal 30 more. And speaking of just kind of removing resources from play, there's also 2 Tool Scrapper in here, so removing capes, air balloons, whatever, just kind of keeping our opponent's resources limited at all times. Like I mentioned, no Metal Saucer, but we still have 8 Metal Energy and 4 Fighting Energy, and also 2 Big Charm to help make our Pokemon a little bit bigger. Usually they end up on the Duraludon, but sometimes they're better on the Zacian or the Zamazenta. Depends what we're up against, depends on the situation. So yeah, this is the deck. Also, 4 Adventures Discovery. I didn't really talk about these. The main setup card of the deck. Y'all might also have noticed there's no Quick Ball or any other Pokemon Search in the deck, just 4 Adventures Discovery. And we do play 4 Pokegear, so finding them on the first turn isn't too difficult, or if not, hopefully we draw into the Pokemon we want to start with anyways. But if not, we can use that Adventures Discovery on the first turn, find just a bunch of V Pokemon, depending on what we want for the matchup, for the situation, and start setting those up. So that's why there's 4 of the Adventures Discovery in here. It is our setup card. No Quick Ball, no Evolution Incense, no Great Ball, none of that. All Adventures Discovery to find our Pokemon. And that's the list. It's weird. It's wacky. Grant Manley took down a tournament with it, so I definitely want to give it a try. So we're going to be getting into this. But before we do, if you guys do enjoy the video, make sure you give it a like. And if you enjoy the content here and you're new, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell. And let's go ahead. Let's get into some games. Here we go. Going second. Mulligan. We did have the Adventures Discovery in that hand, but we didn't have a basic Pokemon. Otherwise, that hand would have been sick. This time we got the Zacian and the Adventures Discovery. So really good opening hand. We are up against the Mew VMAX, it looks like here. So let's see how this matchup is gonna go. I'm excited to play some games in this matchup to see how the matchup goes. And I actually don't know what I want to grab here off the Adventurers Discovery. Probably double Duraludon V and a VMAX, I think. I don't know if we want Zamazenta in this matchup. I don't think we do. I guess it could be okay. They are playing the Latios. This doesn't matter though, actually. I was like, at first I was scared, but the attack from Duraludon goes through any effects on our opponent's Pokemon. So Adventures Discovery here, and go ahead and grab ourselves and my opponent has a really slow start on their side, so let's just try and get out double Duraludon. I think it's just going to be best here. Yeah, really slow start from my opponent. Throw these down, throw down a Crystal Cave, attach to one of the Duraludon, and then let's go ahead and let's Intrepid Sword. Got the energy for next turn, which is great. That's exactly what we're looking for, so we can start attacking ideally on turn 3. And the question is going to be, can my opponent attack this turn? But yeah, I think double Duraludon is what we want to go with here. Double Duraludon. Double Cross Switcher though. Oh no, my opponent could have. Oh, but they messed up. Oh no, they have a switch. Oh, they messed up here. There's a Marnie follow-up, so they could. No, they can't KO my Duraludon. They could. I was gonna say they could KO it, but they can't because they Marnied, which means they don't also Sparkle this turn. Otherwise, they could have, but now they're not. But we did lose both our Duraludon VMAX, which I don't like. I don't like that at all. So hopefully this Pokegear gets us a Adventures Discovery. We can get the Duraludon VMAXs back and get those set up as soon as possible. Cross Switcher down. That's big news to us because now we know that they don't have another double Cross Switcher play to work with. They don't have to play around Cross Switcher anymore happening. You know, if they want a Gust effect, they have to boss or potentially Escape Rope. I guess that could be a Gust effect as well. So that's like the other thing we'd have to play around here. So hopefully we get some kind of supporter off this Pokegear. Ideally, we get the VMAX because then we just guaranteed have it. If we don't get the VMAX, we get like a research or something. Hopefully we hit like a switch back into the Zation, protect my Duraludons for another turn. They are down 2 cross switcher and a switch, so a boss here actually wouldn't be a bad play either. But let's see what the Pokegear gets us. It does get us the Adventurous Discovery, so I think I'm just gonna go this route. Attach active Adventurous Discovery, get the double VMAX here. Might just go ahead and grab triple VMAX. We do want to thin something out of the deck before we use the Intrepid Sword, so we want to get something here, and then we will VMAX both of these. And then, yeah, our opponent can only attack us now with the max. Well, no, actually, that's not true. If we can get like a Crushing Hammer head or something, it would only be the max miracle. I could attach this energy, and I'm actually very tempted to. Brave Blade could come in clutch later on to go like 3-2-3. I'm going to go ahead and grab this energy here onto the Zation, because we have the attachment for the Duraludon the next turn, so we can start attacking with Duraludon. So I do like this attachment here on the Zation, because we could even end up in a scenario where we go with, all right, they get the second basic energy, and that's why the Crushing Hammers are actually really good with this deck. But now with this Raihan, we could go attach active. They're gonna hit us here with, you know, the what's the attack name called? The Technoblast, because they can Technoblast us here, because we did, or because they do have the double basic energy. The Skyscraper ability says we can't hit by Pokemon with special energy, but this is a double basic energy. Usually a Fusion Strike energy makes its way into play at some point, or we can get like a Crushing Hammer heads, and that kind of forces the Fusion Strike energy, and then they're forced into the Max Miracle, which is way less damage. So then we can kind of out heal the damage with the Crystal Cave and win the prize trade overall. There's a Meloetta grab. Not too many Fusion Strike energy in play, so we don't have to be worried about that yet. But through the basic energy, oh, another Marnie. We lose the Raihan, and we lose energy for turn as well. Actually, that's super unfortunate. Second Marnie. Really want to pull off that Raihan play. Makes things a little bit weird now, to be honest. I actually don't know what we want to do here. Might go with like a boss play on one of the... We could like go switch boss, heal. Could also go with the Avery and force a double discard off the bench, which would still be pretty strong. Then we go switch Avery, heal, Intrepid Sword. That would also be fine, I think. Yeah. We'll see what they hit us with. They go with the Dyna Barrier, which I don't think they realize doesn't do anything because of our attack. I was kind of hoping they would actually go with the Dyna Barrier here. I think I will go with the Avery then. The boss play I kind of like as well, but I wouldn't mind letting them play through their deck a little bit more. And I mean, it's a good discard here. It discards 2 Pokemon, so I kind of just like the Avery. Got ourselves a Flannery, which isn't going to be great. So the Intrepid Sword is going to... We did get the energy, though, which makes me want to actually, like, attach attack. I kind of want to just, like, attach attack because we did get the energy here. We have, what, 290? So if they use the Technoblast, a triple tablet, which, to be honest, is not very hard to get. It's pretty easy to get, to be honest. Maybe I should, like, switch first. Attach Intrepid Sword. Can't win a KO the Zation without using a tablet, which is good. That would be pretty cool. Or does set up that. I don't have really much else to work with as well. And do I just want to chill? I'm so torn here. I'm so conflicted on actually what I want to do. It could just hit. I do like the hit, but then we have no follow-up if they do want to KO us. So I think I'm gonna go with the switch here. Switch to Zation. I will attach here. And then Intrepid Sword. Boss, Big Charm, switch. All decent cards. We could go for the boss stall route now. They are down 3 cross switchers and a switch. How many switches they play is the question. They have plenty of energy left to retreat the Genesect, so I guess I'm not a huge fan of the idea of that. We need to kind of like find our Crushing Hammer so we can start to Crushing Hammer away these psychic energy. That'd be nice. Oh, they play Horror Energy, which is interesting. The boss back on my Duraludon, so a boss down from my opponent. Can keep playing this slow though, I feel like. Like I said, they triple tablet would knock us out, but with that Avery on the last turn, also really limited their bench, you know, cut onto their bench quite a bit. And they have a slow follow-up. Dyna Barrier again. My opponent has not caught on to the fact Dyna Barrier is not good. It's just not good. Go with the Flannery play. I kind of like it. We do have the switch in the hand as well, so with the Big Charm here, I can go heal, Flannery, heal. We'd also discard that energy off the bench. I still want more cards. We could go with the Boss Genesect play. Switch Intrepid Sword. I kind of like that. I like that as well. Let's go with that. Boss Genesect. Switch back. And then Intrepid Sword. Okay, switch. Yeah, we got a lot of cards to work with again. And this deck really is, or yeah, the way we play this matchup, we really are just trying to kind of run them out of resources. Like that is kind of one of our goals here, is to kind of just work through our opponent's resources quite a bit. They're down switch, and they're down 3 cross switchers. They do play an air balloon apparently. They got that. We do play double Scrapper, so scrapping that shouldn't be a huge deal. They get the retreat back. Might go ahead and hit this turn. We can also discard that. Actually, which energy would I want to discard here? They're down their Meloetta, and I feel like if they play the Lanias, they're probably not playing 2 Meloetta. They also have like the cross switchers in here, so they don't have a ton of room for like everything in the list. So I feel like actually I just don't know which one I want to discard. I don't have to really discard either of them right now. anyways. And if they bench another Pokemon here, I'd actually probably look for another Avery off the Pokegear. Because I also want to draw energy to start setting my second Duraludon, so that'd be like another reason I'd want to do that. But also using double Crystal Cave this turn could be cool as well, because it would heal off Dyna Barrier to my Zation, actually. Okay, so that gives us like more time to work with, actually. So yeah, now I would be down for the Avery for sure. There's the Avery. Also would like to find one of those Tool Scrappers so I can get rid of that Air Balloon and then boss that back up, maybe. Get off my heal. Avery here. We also get to discard another Pokemon of my opponent's, which, to be honest, it isn't like the end of the world, because on my opponent's side, because they get to now bench more Pokemon, which can be like sometimes a problem with the deck. Is just like stuff getting clogged in the hand. Got a Crushing Hammer here. Got the heads. This is a big deal on this heads. Getting rid of a basic energy means for my opponent to potentially attack on the next turn, they have to put a special energy down, which kind of locks them out of using Techno Blast on our Duraludon VMAX. Now, there is a lot of Training Quirk in Mew VMAX decks, so there's a decent chance my opponent could play one of those, or they might play more than 2 basic energy. 2 basic energy is kind of the norm, but there is that Fusion Strike energy. So, I mean, yeah, this kind of puts us in a good spot. I like the spot we're in right here. There's a Fusion Strike energy in the active, so that means they're forced into only being able to use Max Miracle to hit my Duraludon. So I think we're in a pretty good spot. There's the Techno Blast from my opponent. All right. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and send up my Duraludon VMAX here. And I think we are going to attack with this turn. I think we will be using the Flannery. I do want an energy. Ooh, that is the Raihan. Not too many more knockouts will actually happen in this game. I might want a Raihan now. I could wait, though, until this thing gets knocked out and then Raihan. I think that's probably a little bit better. We go with the Flannery play here. And I'll punch the active Flannery. I think I want to remove that energy. We also lose our Stadium. But I can throw another one in play and heal again. So it's not like the end of the world or anything. And then G-Max Pulverization. We'll probably go for the Raihan. Look for the Raihan play. Excuse me. Look for the Raihan play when we actually, when this gets knocked out. We'll look for that play then. And the reason we want to get rid of the energy off the bench is because we're already pressuring this energy by hitting this Mew VMAX. So this energy is being pressured. We're pressuring this energy of my opponents by just simply hitting the Mew VMAX. Went for a boss stall on my Duraludon, but we have the switches to combat that, and we could go for a boss stall on my opponent's Genesect here. Once again, not a whole ton of switch cards left. There's an Air Balloon here. We'd want to scrapper the Air Balloon before we go for a boss stall play, because they could play a Shopping Center. I don't really want to give my opponent the ability to try and utilize their Shopping Center. So I think we'd want to get the Tool Scrapper before we go for a boss stall play, because otherwise they get to play the Shopping Center, move the Air Balloon around. Because usually when you see the Air Balloon, they do play the Shopping Center. So I don't want a boss yet, but simply hitting the active would be pretty good, to be honest. So let's check, hopefully get ourselves another Avery. Perfect. Also get to remove another of my opponent's bench Pokemon here. And we're hoping for an energy hit. We got the energy, so we'll be able to set up this Duraludon after this one goes down. Unless they focus this one again, which they definitely could do, but they are down to like the triple cross switcher and 2 boss at this point. So I question whether or not they'll actually be able to do that, to be honest. And now we'll get this hit in here on this Mew, pressuring this energy as well. And I think we're just in a really good spot. Another Pokemon gone from my opponent's side of the field. So they're on what? 2 Genesect, a Mew, a Meloetta. They still have a Genesect, but they haven't drawn a whole ton of prize cards. So if any of them are prized, they're kind of stuck there, to be honest. Here comes another boss for my opponent. But we have our last switch, but they can knock this Duraludon out now. But on our side, we'll be able to knock out a Mew ourselves. So I don't hate the situation. I don't love... Oh, they actually don't get the prize cards here. For some reason, I just assumed that they were going to get the knockout here. They don't get it. We have our last switch. And this time, I'll play just an Adventurer's Discovery to thin out the deck of the card, I guess. I was going to say to thin out my deck, but we don't really have anything in the deck to grab. I've got another Crushing Hammer here. Go ahead and play it. Tails, that's fine. We'll just remove the energy off this Mew VMAX, I think. But even that doesn't seem worth removing, to be honest, because we kind of just win if my opponent brings that up to attack with. So removing that doesn't seem like it actually would have probably been worth it, to be honest. But yeah, it looks like this one is about wrapped up, to be honest. We are in a really good spot. My opponent couldn't quite put too much early pressure on us. They had that Whiffed Energy attachment turn 1, which didn't lead to like a turn 2 boss KO on our Duraludon V. It's a little bit harder for them to hit that KO, though, because of the hard coding or hard coat on the Duraludon V. It can be kind of difficult to hit that knockout, actually. Comes the Peony. 2 item cards. I don't think it's going to save them. Especially when they're down this many basic Pokemon. The draw power from Genesect is just not there. Well, they are really heavy on the Marnie. They actually play 3 Marnie. I kind of like that, though. Especially as no one really plays around Marnie in the Mew VMAX deck. So when you play it, it's that much more devastating. Double Tablet coming in from my opponent. Okay, let's see if this can do it for them. 3 off the Genesect. I don't think it can, though. Double Tablet. not going to do enough to KO my Duraludon, which means we should just be able to get the KO on my next turn. Did I forget to use the Stadium? No, I think I did use it. They were short 40. Yeah. Pretty sure I used it. Attached to the Genesect, how many Fusion Strike energy do they have left is the question. They have none. So unless they play a basic metal, they can't actually attack with Genesect, but it does make me think that they do. It doesn't matter though. We have the boss on the Mew now, and that is just going to go ahead and be game 2 Mew VMAX knockouts. And yeah, they didn't even KO one Duraludon VMAX in this one. We kept limiting their resources in weird ways. The Flannery, the Crushing Hammer, just using Avery to limit their bench. And yeah, just kind of won the war of attrition in that one. Won the coin flip, so we will go first in this one. However, if we're up against Mew VMAX, we do want to go second. And our opening is pretty whack. It's just not good. So we honestly would have preferred to go second. Unless we can top deck a Duraludon V. Definitely would have preferred to have gone second. Go ahead and pass over to my opponent. Yeah, we don't have much going on. It looks like we're up against the Suicune deck. My opponent won't be able to do very much because yeah, we don't really have anything going on. So there's not much my opponent can do on this first turn themselves. They could maybe get off a turn 1 attack. But if they don't, really not that big of a deal, to be honest. Maybe we do just want to go second in like every matchup because there is so little we can do if we do go first. We really are heavily reliant on the Adventurer's Discovery to really get things going, or just kind of drawing really well off the rip. So I think in most matchups, to be honest, we probably should just go ahead and go second. Because otherwise we kind of give our opponent 2 turns of draw supporters, but it's possible if they have a pretty slow turn 1 that, to be honest, they wouldn't really be able to pull too much off on their second turn anyways. So I really actually do think we should probably just be going second overall. But this matchup, I think, is going to be a pretty solid matchup. There we go. Another Duraludon V off the top, a little bit late. Gonna grab the Zacian and 2 VMAXs. We don't really want to set up 2 Duraludon Vs, I don't think. Although it wouldn't hurt to set up 2, so we could go like this. We don't really want more bench Pokemon than we need. So then we're just going to go like this. We are going to be using Intrepid Sword for sure. Yeah, throw down Duraludon V, throw down the Zacian, attached to Duraludon, and then Intrepid Sword. No hits, but that's fine. We probably wouldn't have played it anyways. Yeah. So our goal is going to be let our opponent KO like our Zamazenta and our Zacian, and then keep using Avery as they overextend their bench potentially, and then get the Duraludon VMAX online, start swinging with that, and we'll see where the game goes from there. Zacian is also a pretty solid attacker in this matchup though. The Brave Blade comboed with a Tool Scrapper to make sure to get rid of any capes that my opponent might have. Will get 1-hit KOs on the Suicune. So in this matchup, we definitely want to potentially utilize the Zacian. Once we set up our Duraludon VMAX, wouldn't mind using the Zacian as an attacker, especially if we can find that Raihan to, you know, just get that going. Find the Raihan, use that to get the Zacian set up potentially. And it's going to be hard for my opponent to get 1-hit KOs on pretty much anything. And actually in this situation with the capture energy on the Suicune, we could actually like already go ahead and switch into the Duraludon VMAX and like just let it start tanking hits, or let it start tanking the lack of hits, because my opponent can't attack as long as they have the capture energy on that Suicune. So I wouldn't mind switching into the Duraludon VMAX on the next turn, to be honest. Kind of throw that up there and just be like, can't attack me because you use the capture energy on your Suicune. So I might go ahead and do that. Here comes the second shady dealings from my opponent. So yeah, the optimal starter would have definitely been like the Zacian here, I think. Or even open like a Duraludon V and then like switch it out or something. But yeah, definitely don't want Zamazenta in play, to be honest. It's kind of pointless to have the Zamazenta in play for the most part. Here comes a cape from my opponent. Now, usually Suicune decks play 2 capes of toughness, so I wouldn't mind just go ahead and scrappering this one right now. Although that would let my opponent put another cape on this Suicune like next turn, which would be a little bit annoying. My opponent also did not, very wisely, did not bench any more Pokemon, so my Averys are kind of limited here. So I'm just gonna go with the Adventurer's Discovery instead. Thin out a couple more cards. There's nothing I really could have Pokegeared into. Our research would have been okay, but I'm fine with playing it a little bit slower, to be honest. And I think we are just gonna go ahead, evolve, attach. I will put my Stadium in play. Go ahead and do that. Attach. And I kind of like the idea of the switch play. My opponent currently can't attack with the Suicune. Just kind of make things awkward for my opponent, and just kind of try and out-resource them a little bit, I think is going to be the game plan. Kind of similar to that last game we played against the Mew VMAX. Just kind of play around the resources pretty heavily, try and limit my opponent's resources, and play into them just not being able to do whatever they want every turn. Yeah, this will probably make it reasonably awkward for my opponent on this turn, and we could even go as far as maybe getting the knockout next turn if we can find ourselves a fighting energy, which we don't have right now, but we could possibly find that and yeah, get the knockout on the Suicune on the next turn. And then from there, it feels like we're going to be kind of rolling, cruising. I think we'll be in a pretty good spot. We'll see. It definitely seems like it could be a tough matchup. You know, if they got like a turn 2 Suicune, well, they did get the turn 2 Suicune. Of course, like we made it awkward here. I mean, we'll see what they have from here. We'll see what they have from here. I'm very interested to see how it plays out from here. Trying to make it awkward with the Duraludon right now, but who knows where this game goes on the following turn. Yeah, if we are able to get that fighting energy, we have the Tool Scrapper to back it up, so we'd be able to remove a Suicune potentially with double water energy attached to it, which then makes it more awkward on their next turn to get the knockout on my Duraludon. Definitely still possible, but we will try and make things as awkward as possible. Here comes an escape rope. I kind of want to send up the Zacian, because it might force out a Candy Lotad or a Candy Ludicolo. And that's like one less thing we have to worry about down the line. But I wouldn't mind setting up the Zamazenta as well, and then maybe getting off an Avery on the next turn. I'm actually kind of conflicted here on what I want to go with, because 140 HP here, they're doing 80, 100, 120. So they basically KO the Zamazenta. But if I lose the draw power from the Zacian, that's kind of what I'm scared of losing. So I think I am going to go with the Zamazenta here. And then, yeah, see if our opponent can... I mean, they'll get the KO here, I'm pretty sure. But I think I'm just kind of fine with them getting this KO. They'll have to bench another Pokemon or set up a quick shooting Inteleon. Yeah, I think I am just kind of fine with my opponent getting this knockout. If they get the knockout, I don't think it's the end of the world. We can definitely live with that. And I think we'll be okay. I think we'll be okay if my opponent gets the knockout here. I'm not too worried about it, I don't think. At least I think. I'm not too confident. I'm not worried about it, but I don't think I'm worried about it. We'll see what my opponent has on their turn. And yeah, we'll see if we can get this return knockout maybe on this Suicune. We know they have the Scoop Up Net in hand, so that will be able to move this Inteleon that they've now put in their active. Of course, they don't have to move with the Scoop Up Net. They could actually even retreat it this turn with like a Capture Energy or something like that. Looks like they were deciding what to Quick Ball here. That's good for us to see this Quick Ball coming down, though. That's a basic they'll put in play. Gonna get some value out of the Avery. We just kind of want to keep chipping away at their Pokemon they put in play. We want to keep chipping away at them with the Avery, just kind of over and over and over again. We do play 3 Avery, so we can do it a couple times as far as discarding my opponent's bench Pokemon goes. Of course, they don't have to bench anything here. They could just hit into my Zamazenta. They wouldn't be able to get the KO then. So it's really up to my opponent here, like if they want to commit. They do commit a Pokemon down, so now we will be able to get that value out of the Avery. Here comes that Fleet-Footed. Yeah, we will be able to get that value out of the Avery here. And at least getting rid of one Pokemon. Maybe they'll bench another one. Maybe they're not quite hip to the fact that we play Avery, and they might just start benching stuff down. Maybe they didn't have anything to bench on the previous turn. They didn't put anything else down, so that makes me kind of think that they knew about Avery. But it's very possible they have no idea that I play Avery, and will be able to kind of take advantage of that on the next turn potentially by our opponent maybe benching another Pokemon down this turn. Like, I wouldn't be terribly surprised if my opponent throws down a Pokemon onto their bench this turn. We'll see though. Because yeah, who knows if they actually know that we play Avery. I don't know that they know. They might know, but yeah, I don't know that they know for sure, but they might know. They might know. We'll see here soon. They got the double water energy, so they're setting up for this weekend to actually be able to attack into my Duraludon. Like I said, we got the Tool Scrapper. They find that fighting energy goes to remove a lot of water energy in play. Definitely throw some Crushing Hammers out this turn. Remove this water, make them work to get 2 more water in play on the next turn. They do have the Melody of the Water in hand, so we know they have it. But then we get through a couple more water energy, and then the next Suicune might not be able to attack into a Duraludon. All right, here comes the Blizzard Rondo on my Zamazenta. I was also actually debating benching this Duraludon. I might bench this Duraludon V if we get the Crushing Hammer and get the knockout here. We got the fighting energy, so we got the knockout on the active, and we can maybe get Crushing Hammer heads on the bench. But we can start with that Avery. Draw some more cards. And we're going to remove one Pokemon from play. I mean, it's up to my opponent here. We'll see what they choose to lose. And then, yeah, we can get rid of this Cape and then get the knockout on the active. Going with the Inteleon. Don't have to worry about that anymore, which is nice. Let's throw out a couple Crushing Hammers. Okay, there we go. Remove a water off the bench. I can scrap her off the active. But I don't have to hit the active here, to be honest. And we actually could have gone with like a boss KO on this Suicune as well. I might just hit this Suicune. I don't really have to scrap her because I'm not afraid of this thing attacking on the next turn. It's really the next one. I want to save the scrapper for that one potentially. We could just attach attack. I could also actually just go attach Intrepid Sword. If I do knock it out though, I do get to bench this Duraludon V. But I am kind of a big fan of potentially benching that. So I think I will go with this route here where we go attach, scrapper, bench, and then go for the knockout here. And then we'll be able to set up another Duraludon VMAX, which could be pretty useful to have around. We'll see. Yeah, so 2 Pokemon actually taken out of play here thanks to that Fighting Energy top deck. Able to take 2 Pokemon out of play here from my opponents. And if we get like another Avery on the next turn, could be looking at, you know, that many more Pokemon removed from play and my opponent doing that much less damage. I am kind of, the one thing about this Duraludon V in play, I mean, not really, because we did remove all the energy from play, so they shouldn't be able to get this KO. They could do more damage now that we are boosting their damage here. And here's that other Cape on the Suicune. This is what I was kind of talking about. Like, we could have just waited on the Scrapper play and just hit the active Suicune, but then benching the Duraludon is more of a risk of them going like boss, Candy Ludicolo hit. They do have the Candy Ludicolo. They're not one-hit KOing us, though. They're just kind of just hitting into our Duraludon here. So if we do get a Tool Scrapper here, which is pretty unlikely, to be honest. It's not super likely that we get the Tool Scrapper here, so we'll probably just hit into my opponent's Suicune V and then hopefully get the Tool Scrapper on the following turn is what we'd be looking for, or a future turn to just kind of KO this. That's what I was kind of the risk of playing this Tool Scrapper, to be honest. So I'm not confident that was a correct play. We could have maybe just kind of chilled, punched that Suicune, and then Intrepid, or punch that Suicune, not play the Scrapper. Don't bench the Duraludon V yet, and then maybe next turn, on this turn, they go into this Suicune, and then we Scrapper both. Go from there. That could have been the better play overall, to be honest. Okay, draw, no Tool Scrapper. That's what we were looking for. Could go with a Research here, though, to be honest. Thin out a bunch of cards out of the deck. Let's see what this Pokegear finds us. No Avery. We could grab this Adventure Discovery, and I think I am leaning towards going with the Research. We do lose 3 Switch. It's like the main thing that we lose here, I feel like. We'd go for a boss KO on this weekend, but that seems a little bit bad. So we're gonna go with the Research here. Definitely yes. Get rid of all of it. What are we drawing to? The Scrapper. Holy moly, what a draw. Scrapper is huge here. Get this KO. Force them into like another Melanie play and finding another water. Sounds pretty good to me. We are down 4 Switch actually now. Oh no. That's actually not good at all. So I'm gonna go ahead and Scrapper this. Boom, get the prize cards. Big Charm onto the Zacian, and then G-Max Pulverization. Yeah, we want the Big Charm on the Zacian here because gotta make sure this Zacian survives. It's actually kind of scary that we're down 4 Switch. I didn't realize we were going down 4 Switch here. Because now if they boss up my Zacian, it does just kind of get stuck in the active. So yeah, we have to figure out something to do with that. We're now with 3. I don't have a ton of energy left as well. We need to like Intrepid Sword into an energy hit. And if they boss it, we can retreat it. But even then, they can boss it again. Man, this is not looking good. I do not like the situation we're in at all here. Not loving it. But apparently, it's more than enough because my opponent concedes. Maybe they're out of basic waters, or did they have like access to a Melanie? I don't know what it was, but it felt like it was still close. But maybe they didn't have any basic water left in the deck to actually be able to pull off an attack this turn. I think we were down like 4 basic waters there. So if they prize their last basic water, they actually wouldn't be able to attack that turn. Get another dub with the Duraludon. That matchup seems close. They do play the basic energy. The capes are annoying, but if we find the Scrappers, it doesn't seem too bad, to be honest. We play with a really low bench, so they're not doing like an overwhelming amount of damage turn to turn. I guess maybe this deck just kind of can squeak out games. I was wondering how it could get dubs, but there are some dubs. And that's going to do it for these games, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you do, give it a like, enjoy the content. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.